any token. So if we use Get Lost against this, this will actually pump them. That's crazy. This is awkward because Innocence actually trades against those right now. Yeah, it will trade still. It will trade still. I think it's worth it. Because this has 2 power, so this only pumps power. I think we should be kinda okay. And we have Siren to trigger the Innocence. Alright, hop to it. They will hop a lot. And they cannot attack, which is nice. Of course, counter spells do not work because they put a land that gives every color of mana for their deck. So, you know, that's a huge downside. It has 5 colors and it also prevents the whole game plan. So I think we go Innocence, honestly, because we will need a lot of life gain here, and we cannot miss the lands. So that was a nice hit, by the way. If we attack, will we get anything out of this? They will probably pump all the rabbits. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. We can always double block if they put something huge, but probably it cannot attack on this turn, right? Because they only have this 4 mana that creates a haster, basically, like the token that is attacking. So, yeah, that's exactly the one we're talking about. So we will block this guy, and probably one of the tokens. I think they will... Oh, we might be forced to double block. You know what? I think this might be the play. Let's just get rid of them while we can, because they will keep growing. So this gives them basically 2 power, and if we double trade, we only get rid of 1. So I think it's still worth it, and we should get enough cards. Soon we'll start bouncing stuff, and you know, you get the idea. If we play this, we can draw into land and play Curiosity, but it has a lot of power, so it doesn't work exactly. We could also ambush with Curiosity. Alright, this is until end of turn. Oh, I'll be honest, I thought it's permanent. But it's fine. So we got the land back, which is kinda nice. And now we can still play Curiosity. Or Voice of Victory into counterspell that doesn't work. Yeah, I think we just go Curiosity. I mean, we are making some progress into the board. Maybe they will double spell, so jokes aside, I'm still counting on this to counter something during the game. Unfortunately, not this card that I would really love to counter. You cannot answer it efficiently if it enters the battlefield. You can only counter spell it. That's like the only, you know, good play against it. But hopefully ambushing will do the trick. It taxes our mana. So they have the token. I wonder how they will play. Because with Curiosity we can ambush them and draw some cards. So maybe it's better than counter spelling. They get rid of the Siren, which doesn't super matter. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think having a 4-3 in the board is just better. They can pump everything to 2 toughness, so it doesn't really trade against anything even. But Curiosity will. It's a shame that this gets a pump. But you know what? We can actually do... Okay, you know what? We have so many Into the Flood Maw and stuff that I think it's better to get the Siren back. Because then we draw 2 cards, so it gives us so much. First, we let them... Okay, so they have chosen. So they have chosen their destiny. And that's a nice block. You can admit, this is a juicy block, man. And now we get the Siren back. It triggers all of this. Man, this is so good. And we still keep Curiosity because it died, so it's still in the board. And now we can start making the plays. This is interesting because this doesn't counter a spell. It exiles a spell and the spell is plotted. Nothing about countering. So we can literally counter their uncounterable spells with this. So we could play okay, I think we go Voice of Victory into Interrupter. We want to keep drawing cards. And we can go Escort into Normalize, or just Interrupter if they play one big spell. We're playing against the best deck of the format. We need to win this one. We deserve it. We cannot... Well, if we attack, we draw a card. And they pump everything to 2/2, but it forces them not to create a token, so it's still something, and we can double block maybe. I might play the Drowner on the War Leader. Yeah, that's the play. Do I need the card here? No, because if they cannot attack with this, they will have 1 toughness creatures, which means that Siren can trade against the Recruit, which is massive. They can pump those 2 with map tokens. It costs 2 mana, but then this one has 1 toughness. Okay, this is probably not something we counter. The problem is that this, of course, gets the counters, right? Yeah, also ability, but they get value on literally every front. Oh, alright, it's fine. It's fine, Sloth. So this is probably a normalized target. They don't have the way to produce mana, which is nice. We get rid of this. That solves one of the big problems. And they are down to 0 cards. Right now, all we have to do is win in the board. And we could even just play the Drowner, just for the stats. Okay. Land. On the bright side, they cannot draw anything of value here. Like, it's either a land that has 0 value or a card that they cannot draw. And this is okay for them. Not crazy, not bad. You know, just a solid draw. So if we want to go for the Drowner and give them 2 counters, this is the moment. And I think it's worth it. Or you could just go Escort and what? And block? No, I think it's worth it. We'll just solve it later. I think those 2 counters are worth it because we are getting all those cards. So the War Leader is tapped and we can shuffle it. So we can kind of solve one of the... Oh, we can just shuffle it. I'm not even sure if you want. Man, this will be a rough game. We need to literally outstat them in the board with our measly, sneaky creatures against the absolute powerhouse of big creatures that hit face. Whenever you attack, or whatever, I guess they still get it. I just still don't know how the card works, huh? Alright, I will get a comment for this one. Let's take 6 damage. But we are trading, so that's a good thing. And we also solved one of the... I kinda wanted to trade against them because they are so annoying right now. So we cannot shuffle the War Leader. However, we can work around it. Alright, we have infinite cardo basically, so that's a good start. We could bounce this. This doesn't attack on the next turn, so they're not having too much value. Let's start with the Siren, that's for sure. Because we are doing more cards. We want those Into the Flood Maw probably. Voice of Victor is also a pretty nice one. It also uses white mana. Let's put as many creatures as we can, because we need a lot of chompy blockers. And we can Into the Flood Maw the tokens, so it never, you know, gives us problems. I'm kinda happy that they are doing this. This doesn't matter. We can even counter it. Yeah, we will counter it with Interrupter. I think we are winning this game, man. And we chill. You know, I've noticed that when you draw infinite amount of cards forever, it really helps you to win games and outvalue your opponent. Oh boy. I really thought this has to attack, but yeah, it makes sense. So, our opponent wants to go into attack phase. Sure. Let's see. They will probably swing all. Let's see what type of effect. Will they take the pump or the token? We can get rid of this one. So the token is probably worse for them. Let's see. Okay, they pump. That's fine. We solve this problem. They get the counter, but we still chomp block, so it kinda is the same. And we still have the Interrupter, which will be another creature and another card, like another 2 cards. So we are getting there. You know, we would normally counter it if not, you know, this land that is absolutely not bothering me. Yep, our opponent is attacking. Now we have nice blocks. No trample. And as you can see, they didn't make any progress. They are playing a card that doesn't make any progress even more. And now we have the Interrupter. And we'll probably go into the Flood Maw again, so we can try to out-tempo them over and over. Oh, the Rescuer. This is a powerful play. Alright, let's play untap land for sure. And now we can start doing stuff. And we probably want the Rescuer, honestly. Life gain is really good here. Okay, so let's go for this guy. Because we are doing more. Man, we can literally mill ourselves soon. Lands are kinda not needed. We can play this if we don't want to tap any creatures. Because we need to tap them before the block phase. So I think we kinda chill here. With Wanderer, we can actually finally start getting good trades, because this is the part we are lacking. Right now we always have to Tron block, but this is the first time, of course uncounterable, why wouldn't it? This is the first time when we can try to win creatures on board with, you know, combat phase. So that's kinda important. They will probably keep pumping, because our stats, as you can see, are kinda weak compared to the rabbits, but we are sneaky. So we've got this. This is a good decision. They should attack with this guy. Yep. Let's see the triggers. Alright, and this gets a free trade. We just tap normally. We don't need hexproof, we just need as many creatures as possible. I would really love to solve it. We could also just block here and finally get rid of this. Then we could go this, so they cannot kill two creatures. And chomp here. This is a pretty solid block all around. We solve the War Leader. Then it's only Mentor for the future turns. We have Escort, so we can draw cards with it. Yeah, I like this trade a lot. You can see, Rescuer actually came to the rescue, and finally. So our opponent needs to decide if they kill Innocence that has lifelink or Voice of Victory that actually can create tokens every time we attack, so we can draw cards for free with this. But we are at so many cards that, yeah, oh, they gave the lifelink. Okay, I'll take it. Let's go with the Verge, of course. And now we can main phase something and draw 3 cards. Seems like a very good idea. Let's go. You can see that they are completely out of gas and we are just starting to have gas. You are hexproof. Here you go. Be proud. Okay, and now we are getting to the answers. Well, I expected more than one answer, but it's fine. And now we can attack. Oh man, this is actually massive. Let's go. When we pump it, I would love a counter spell. We can use it as a copy. I'll take it. It also pumps the Innocence. So just we are sure that it works. Let's go up to 4. And this is the best deck of the format. Smarked. Let's go with the Drowner. This saves us a little bit of, you know, life. So I think it's fine. I think it's good enough. This is a pretty nice draw, honestly. But first, let's drop the Innocence. Like, Voice of Victory is pretty good against our deck that is entirely playing every card in the deck on opponent's turn. So that's probably not your favorite card to see on turn 2. But hopefully you can make it work. I honestly think I will double trade against it. It's actually worth it. Even if they have another, that's we will take it. I really hope they don't have like a... Oh, they can use this, right? It still taxes their mana and we still keep the... No way, man. Bro, they have absolutely perfect draw so far. On every step, hard counter to everything we are trying to do. Alright, I see how it is. I think we'll just get rid of this Voice of Victory, because this is getting absolutely out of the line, man. And at least we solved this part. Like, Voice of Victory was the reason we needed to make those awkward plays, because of course we cannot flash anything during their turn. And we would never block 2 for 1 if that was damage, but it was like basically quality of the board. We will take this. This one is the only part that we can, you know, basically tank without much problems. And they probably shouldn't have another Voice of Victory. Well, they will get the card, unfortunately. So that's good for them. That's a free draw and free damage. I still think we'll bounce it. We'll be pretty low on value, man. Let's go. Because then we can go Interrupter and then we can try to do something with it. Not sure exactly how we play it, but they're pretty low on mana. That's the only thing they didn't have so far. And they're going for the Squire. I mean, this is a pretty good target. Because they cannot play Sephiroth, and we kinda want to get rid of Sephiroth permanently. They can use the map token on the Headliner, but that's kinda it. They will be able to use this ability to prevent attacks, right? So they can attack and sacrifice, and then they don't need to pay tax on Sephiroth. On the Squire. We could just, trade here. Honestly, not bad. But we can just flash the Wanderer. Potentially. Alright, I'll take this damage. On this one turn, because that allows us to not be forced into drawing a land. This is something, We'll chill with the Interrupter. We have basically different type of counter spells. Let's see how they play. I really want them to stay on 4 mana, because then they probably cannot make 2 spells per turn. Kinda like we do. Well, this will be definitely an annoying play. I could counter it permanently, but then we have to deal with the big stuff. And they can still play the Squire. We can get this. They won't have 4 creatures probably. They will have 3. This is very strong. It drains super quickly. Okay, I think this is the play. Because this will increase the tax on every creature that they want to replay, including this one. So then, hopefully they cannot make another play on this turn. If we had 5 mana, that would be so much easier, because we would just play the, another one. They still have another Headliner, and they can use the map token, but that's kinda what we have to deal with. Don't forget, whenever they sacrifice the Headliner, they still need to pay half of the mana that they have during the turn. And I think this is the moment when we block. This is getting a little bit out of hand, so let's keep it in check, basically. Okay. And we kinda do the same thing, because our opponent had very smart turn on the last one. So here we will try to work around it. We can also go Virtue into Counterspell, which is easier. Life gain doesn't matter, so we can ignore this one. This was a bait. Our opponent wanted us to interact with this one, so the big one stays. We could get the free trade, but of course they can fling it then. They gain 1 life. Maybe we just block it with Virtue. That seems like a decent play. Then they will play something probably and we counter it. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. They can fling into Interrupter and then play them for free. So that's an interesting one. I think we just do this. I still lack 1 mana for the Wanderer. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but at least we can try to counter something. This one stays, we will counter the other one. This one hurts, and this is the one we counter. They lose this. A Squire is a little bit annoying because it will grow, but hopefully can make it work. And this one has Vigilance. And I think it's worth attacking, because they don't want to lose the Squire. Squire scales and our token doesn't, and they know about it. We still don't have the 5th mana for Virtue, so we cannot scale our board as much as we would like to. Man, that's a little bit of a rough game. Sheltered by Ghosts. We could interrupt it, or we can wait until they attack. No, we can wait until they target. Then we get the Rescuer, and they waste Sheltered. I like this play a lot. Now we tap. We finally get this into the board, because the stats on this are pretty massive, so we can start trying to dominate the board a little bit with this. And another Squire. Okay. They are getting stuff, don't get me wrong, but now we can finally pressure them a little bit. We have double strike, so they would need to basically waste everything they have for this. So again, we can just attack with everything, and then we play Virtue. They unfortunately know about the Virtue, but with this, we can outscale them. Those will get flying soon, so that's a bit of a problem, but we need to drop it, so we can, you know, start scaling. Double striking Rescuer is really, really quick. Like, this deals what? 8-11 damage already on the next turn, and we can use Interrupter to chomp block this guy once. Sephiroth. Alright, so that they need a land, because otherwise they cannot play Terza. And we still can block with Rescuer, which is kinda massive. Yeah, they need a land here. It has to be untapped, and they have tons of fast lands. So I think this might be a problem for them. And of course they lost a creature. Let's see. Is that untapped land? They shouldn't have it. Like, they have so many fast lands in this deck. And now we have a oh man, it's getting to the good part. Whatever they do, we can just counter it. So we swing, that's tons of damage. You can see the scaling on those creatures with Virtue of Loyalty. And now we untap, and we are ready to go. Now with more counters. Alright, this is the moment where we are taking control over the game. Man, that was rough, and Sephiroth did so much. Man, I love this card. Like, it's so cool. Alright, let's see the play. This is probably something that we could just counter. Can we kill them? So they can cycle 2 cards and activate and play randomly one of those. Nothing really matters too much. What do you do exactly? Number of creatures. So they can use it as a removal. Okay, I think if we counter it, there's probably no chance they will make another meaningful play. I think this should be good enough. And we of course get extra play. Like, they will have to block on the next turn with something. Land, we don't need more. We already have all we need. Alright, and they have 2 mana for play that changes the game. Shelter by Ghosts, by Ghosts is probably the only one. I think, and they already used it. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. That means they don't have the play. So they can play this guy, it's fine. But they cannot really do much. They could attack with Sephiroth and, you know, go for this, but it's just not good enough. So they're at 10, that means some forced blocking will start right now, and we will have 2 flyers to block those 2. I think we swing with everything. This is a forced block. We could go for Anchorage, but then we don't have mana for Interrupter. I don't think it's worth it. So, time to swing and see what happens. They can of course trade, but they don't want to lose the Squire. They could go Sephiroth into Sanctifier. This is probably their best block. Or, okay, I mean they can just chomp and take 4. Okay, this is better. Alright, let's think about this one. Of course we kill the Sanctifier, so that's the easy one. They drain us, huh? I think we need to go for Sephiroth. Because otherwise, of course, we will die to the rain. Probably. It's every creature, right? Another. Yeah, I think we have to go like this. And we have 2 flyers, so we can block. We are down to 2. Really close. Really close. So let's go for the Siren. And we go Interrupter, right? That means we can also get a map token. Cause why not? Why not? Get Lost is a pretty nice card. This will solve a lot. They have lifelink, but we scale very hard, so I hope it's good enough. We deal 12 damage. We can block this. They will go to 17. Man, this will be so close. Voice of Vic. I see how it is. I mean, that's Interrupter, if I've ever seen one. Let's go. This will get the 3rd counter, so I believe it will get flying on this turn. So they cannot play it right now. We have 2 blockers. Man, I wish we could lose the creature. I think they still need to attack. We could just double block this. Then use Anchorage for this guy. I think this is good, man. I think this is good. Yeah, it's worth it. Because now they lose the lifelinker as well. Man, that was a game. I mean, we can just counter whatever they have, right? Right? Let's go. I think counterspell is always a nice addition. Man, I love seeing those colors and not expecting... and not expecting up the beanstalk on turn 2. That's such an improvement, you know? So I think we just go with another counterspell. Sure, they can ramp and play big stuff very, very early. But we can also counter it, so it doesn't really matter. This is just a ramp spell. Alright, so that means we could solve the elves. Maybe we just go Voice of Victory into Siren? Not really sure, because it seems they need a lot of mana. This one is fine. It will just be a cycle, basically. I'm not really sure how to play it exactly. Because I won't have mana for counterspell on the next turn. We could kill it, but Get Lost can hit Ugin or something if they play it. I think we just chill here. Alright, this is a nice draw. This was one of the cards I was thinking about. Because if we can draw this, Land and Curiosity, basically we can set up the board at the end step and keep drawing cards. And they have only three things, so we should counter the best one of them. They have 6 mana on this turn, and at least 7 on the next turn. Alright, so see, they are trying to cycle, they are not really using anything. If they drop a big spell, we go with Interrupter. But generally we are kinda fine chilling here. Voice of Victor is of course a little bit awkward because we are stuck on 3 mana, so our opponent literally doubles us with this. We could go for Interrupter. They have only 4 mana, but it could be Synthesizer. So let's take the damage. I'm honestly considering right now going 3 steps ahead just to cycle, but it's such a good card. You know. Maybe I should because we can use Interrupter as a counter spell. That's something I kinda omitted. So maybe that was a better play. You know, playing the whole game out of 3 lands is not perfect, but we'll try to make it work. If we had the 4th mana, we could go Siren, keep the counter spell, and then play again like this and use the map token. So we could try to hit lands, you know, a little bit easier. But here we kinda need to go into emergency mode. We still need this counter spell because when they drop something, it will be massive. It will be massive. Synthesizer. I think this is good Interrupter turn. Let's go like this. I want to have some board pressure. Let's see if they can drop another one on the same turn. I hope they do not. They seem to be having quite a lot of artifacts, of course, so they can trigger the Synthesizer. The Bay. Alright, an interesting one. But they don't have other artifacts right now, so that's our cue, basically. And we are still mana screwed. Man, this is ruthless. They could drop Synthesizer and we could bounce it. Alright, I think we just go with Man, we will play the whole freaking game on 3 lantern. Oh man, this would be easy to win. Our opponent has literally 8 mana to our 3. So they can cast a spell, get it countered, and then still have more mana than us during our turn. So that's not a comfortable spot. So, however, they need to, you know, pay this 2 mana for the tax, because Interrupter is still in the board. And then we probably have to counter this one. We could also go another Interrupter. They kinda stuck, right? Yeah, so we could try to do it again, and next turn they need to pay 4. Our opponent is tanking on this. It seems they have some options. They still have 3 cards here, so I would assume that that's something like huge. I'm still thinking about Ugin, honestly. Oh, the huge card was a land, at least one of the 3, but alright, they are dropping this one. I think it's 3 steps ahead, man. Let's go Interrupt. Alright, the reason for this one is that I want more pressure and I love stacking the stacks because it makes it so much harder for them to play. Alright, so they can still go Synthesizer. Very rough situation. Now we will have to go aggressive mode. Now they only need to pay 2 mana as attacks. So you can see that not having any mana to cast our spells really hurts you. They can sacrifice it, but okay. I think this will be this 4 mana Forge thing that creates tokens, but that means we are getting the Interrupter. Oh boy, this is something I did not expect. And guys, we drew the 4th land on like 1/4 of the deck. So let's swing. Okay, this is kinda important. This is the situation where we are getting ahead massively. Now we can finally play the Siren that I was talking about 3 turns ago. And now we still have a counter spell. They need to pay 4 mana as attacks. If we counter it, they only have 5 mana left. Of course, they can keep ramping this, so they can sacrifice this, unnerf it later, sacrifice it again. So they will get a ton of value. Like, they can get 10 mana of spells basically out of this with the Bay. But they need to pay some mana, and you know, it should be kinda okay. Let's counter this one. This is like their big thing. This is 0 cost, this is 4, so with this, I believe they cannot take Synthesizer, right? Equal, so it cannot be less. Alright, another Bay. So now we need to go full aggro mode, because this is the point where we are breaking on the value. And they can take a 1-drop, so it cannot be the Soul, right? Because they really want to start removing creatures. So now we probably go Voice of Victory and start to be very, very aggressive. We probably need to prevent any Synthesizer because this will create like too huge of a board. But other than this, we should be okay. And we will probably use the map token on Siren so we can stack more damage or more lands, we will see. Alright, an island. We don't need it right now, to be honest. Like, we already are past our value phase. So let's go like this. And see what we hit. I think we drop Voice of Victory and then go one of those at the end step. Curiosity is exactly the type of draw we want. So let's go Voice of Victory. This helps on the board a little bit. And this is already 6 damage, so we might actually not even need this. So our plan right now is to try to raise them before they can get the, like, you know, the expensive stuff. We could bounce something, but I don't think it's worth it. We'll try to tap if anything enters with flank or, you know, something annoying. Voice of Victory can also attack for potentially 3 extra damage, so it might be important, especially that it's 3 different creatures, so it's very hard to block. Okay. So this is probably the Soul, I would guess. This can only bounce opponent creature, so you cannot save your own creatures with this one. I think they will go for the Soul Blade and kill one of the flyers. I think that's the play. But it's not super crazy powerful play, you know? Okay, the cookie. Alright. They can live gain with this one, so it's not nothing. It's also an artifact, so they can get Synthesizer with this one. If they pay another mana, then they want to cast a 3 mana artifact and trigger Synthesizer for first big creature, but we can bounce it or tap it. So I'm kinda okay, at least on this turn. We can also bounce the Synthesizer at the end step with Into the Flood Maw, but I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Let's see how they attack, that's kinda important. They still need to, well, to be honest, they don't need to raise us. All they need to do is answer flyers and stabilize on ground. But I'm not sure if they can do it. Okay. They will exile one of the flyers. There is an argument to just Into the Flood Maw this. So we buy 1 extra attack with this. This also draws more cards. I mean, that's not bad. I think they will target one of the flyers, right? They still have 2 mana open and 1 card. Okay, interesting. This... maybe we don't need to do anything here then. Let's see if they attack. That's kinda important. I want them to attack, because then I can tap this and swing for 8 damage. Alright, that's kinda good. No. What? That means they need the mana? I think? Alright, I'm not blocking this one. And I don't want to shuffle it, I don't want to lose the Drowner. So do we go for Into the Flood Maw? Or we just try to swing once? You know what, I think this is more mana efficient. We will have 5 mana. So we can play the Curiosity into the Flood Maw. So I think this is kinda good. They really wanted this. Elves, I think they have a play. Because they removed Voice of Victory. I think they... Okay, so this was the play. Because they removed Voice of Victory and they didn't attack with something that gives mana. So I think this might be a 2 mana instant. I'm not fully sure. We drop this. They are fully tapped, so we know that nothing happens. And we swing with those 3. That gives us 3 new cards and tons of potential for the next turn, and we can remove the only construct that can attack on this turn. Oh man, Siren is so tempting. This could be lethal on the next turn if I play. Okay, I think they probably cannot kill us on this single construct. I will go for it. We got quite a lot of cards. We can even use Virtue to block and attack at the same time, but it's very important that we can set up potential lethal. We have 4 flyers, each one has 2 damage, and they probably don't have a way to answer them. I think Soul Blades are probably like one of the big ways they can defend. And the second is making food tokens, probably with some, you know, shenanigans. They can equip this and force one of the creatures to be Voice of Victory. But we can just main phase everything. I think that's kinda fine. And it costs mana. They only have 2 cards, but they have Repurposing Base. So they can kinda tutor the whole... Like, this will be a massive turn by them. Oh boy. Okay, that's a play. Alright. Well, they only have 2 cards, but they create 4 best cards. Well, that's pretty massive. Oh man, I did not expect this play. As we still have 2 flyers, but that might not be enough. By the way, that's a 2020 attacker. That's why I was considering if we are dead, alright? That was quite a swing turn, wasn't it? I feel that we are a little bit outscaled on board. Our opponent has 220 on stats. That's a little bit on the rough side. Go, Drowner. You can do it. I believe in you. You can probably win this duel. Go forth and show me what you've got. Well, thanks. Well, next one. Alright. We cannot kill them on this turn. We can bounce... Man, they have 10 tokens. That's more than I can handle. Oh man, how can we do it? We cannot give flying to anything. I think that's it. But still, we can pump potentially some damage. I don't know if we have any way to do it, man. But I will try my best. If there's something, we'll find it. Like, I'm even considering playing 1-drops to block each construct, but I think we don't have enough. Oh, that is an interesting one. But it's too late, right? I think that's it. There's no way we survive this turn. Alright? I will give our opponent a good game. I hope you enjoyed. And let's concede this one. That was a turn, man. Well, guys, I hope it was fun. We finally got to see the Wandering Rescuer in action. Card I wanted to showcase since it was printed. It's not easy, but this is the perfect shell for it because we want to play during our opponent's end step. And with Flash, it just gives you everything. It is a strong creature, it gives hexproof to other creatures, but it's very specific. You need to play creatures, you need to play Control-ish game plan, and you need to have enough mana to support it, so you need to use this Convoke probably to get good value from it. Of course, Curiosity, Innocence, as always, incredibly annoying, drawing you tons of cards, while your opponent basically cannot remove them, and every creature in the deck except the Rescuer, or you could say the Emperor, basically has 2 power or less, so everything triggers it, which makes it much more, easier to outvalue your opponent, as you have seen. So I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. And yeah, thank you for all the patrons that allow us to go crazy on the standard ladder. As always, thank you guys so much. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you guys tomorrow.